In this video, we're going to add a few more constraints to the selfie stick to make it a little bit more lifelike. Currently, we have 3 problems. Starting at the back, the stick bottom, see how that highlights as soon as I click on it? It slides off of the selfie stick, and also it slides straight through the rest of the selfie stick. That's not great. The other problem we have is that click on it, that highlights, its name is phone holder top. Our phone holder top slides in and goes way too far and just keeps going, and also slides off. That's a problem. Our last problem is the phone holder bottom, as well as a couple other pieces such as the shoe top and the shoe bottom. They twist and spin all the way around, and we don't want that either. That does not obey the laws of physics whatsoever. So let's go ahead and fix it. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. Let's start out by taking the stick adapter, and if you have not done so already, make sure you hit ground. Ground your stick adapter. Make sure that this stick adapter stays in place, otherwise things are not going to work very well. In order to ground it, just right-click and hit ground. I ungrounded it just then, and the whole thing moves. Not what we want. Again, go ahead and ground. Oops, where'd you go? Click, right-click, and ground that piece right there, that stick adapter. And now it doesn't move. Perfect. Let's move on to the phone holder top. What we're going to do is we're going to hit constrain, and we are going to constrain the bottom of this piece right here. Zoom in. And we're going to mate it with the bottom of this piece right here. Now it is going to slide in just a little bit too much. That's okay. Let's offset it, and we're going to give an offset of 0.9. Oops, not comma 9, 0.9. And hit apply. Perfect. Now we do have one problem with this. When we click and drag, now it's just stuck. It doesn't slide in and out anymore. We do want it to slide in and out though. So what we can do is we can come over here to phone holder top, click that plus button right next to it, and there's our mate with a 0.9 inch of offset. Let's go ahead and right click and edit. And you are going to see, let me move this over here. This little button right here looks like a couple arrows. We're going to click on that to bring up more options. First off, we're going to give it a maximum distance, and this way we can play around with it. What is the maximum amount we want it to be able to stretch out? Oh, let's just say 2 inches. And the minimum is already at 0.9. Let's hit OK, and watch what happens then. Now we can pull it out. We can push it in, but it can't go any less or any more than that. Look at that one more time. Look at this now. The mate has a plus or a minus on it, which is super nice because we're allowed to go a little bit more or a little bit less. Let's go ahead and edit. So maximum from this, we're allowed to go this way 2 inches, but no more to the right. That's super nice. Another option you can select, and I'm actually going to have you select, is use offset as the resting position. And hit OK. Now it's spring-loaded. It will bounce back to its original position every single time. Which, this would have a spring in it in real life, so that it can hold your phone. Next thing we have to fix. Oops, turn around this way. This guy spins around 360, and we do not want that. So let's go ahead and hit constrain one more time, and we are going to use the angle tool. So go ahead and click that button right here, and it's going to bring up the angle measurements. Drag that over here. Let's get a good look at the top. And we're going to click here on this flat area and here. And then we are going to hit undirected angles. And the default is 0 degrees, which is perfect. 0 degrees is just flat, which we do want as our default. Well, let's go ahead and add some limits here. Our maximum will be 90 degrees. And Because it is an undirected angle, we can just leave the maximum at 90 degrees and just leave it there. We don't need to add a minimum. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck. Oops. Yes, we do need to leave that check. We're going to leave maximum at 90 degrees, and the minimum, we're just going to leave at 0 degrees. Now, this in real life would not be spring-loaded. We don't really want it to snap right back into place. However, if you do want it to snap back into place, you just click this button right here. I'm going to leave it off though. And because I left that off, now when I turn it, it's still going to stay, but my limit is 90 degrees, looking good. My other limit is 90 degrees, looking good. Last one that we're going to do, we have the bottom of the stick. I'm going to go ahead and constrain. Oops, let's go ahead and measure that first, actually. Let's go to Tools, Measure. And I'm just going to measure the length of the bottom of this stick from end, click, click, and it goes, let's call it 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead now and assemble, constrain. We are going to mate the bottom of this stick to this end of the other stick. We'll slide all the way in. That's great. Just double check, make sure it's not poking out the back. Nope, we're good. Looking good. And now all we want to do is add a limit. So we're going to give it a maximum of 12 inches. That's the measurement we took. So now it can slide outwards 12 inches maximum. If you want it spring-loaded to go back to the original position after you let go, check this box, but I don't want that. I'm going to leave it unchecked. Hit apply. Okay, let's test it out. Zoom out a little bit and click and drag. Look at that. And it does not leave. And it, oops, look at that. It goes that way though. Let's go back and edit that. So this was the stick bottom, plus button. There's that mate that we did, plus or minus, meaning it can be moved a little bit. Right click, edit, and there it is. We forgot to add a minimum. Add a minimum of 0, hit OK, and now it shouldn't go. There we go, now it stops. Stops here, it stops there. Life is good. And again, if you do want any of these spring loaders that they snap back to the original position, you can just go back. Let's go ahead and do it for this guy really quick. Shoe bottom. No, it wasn't the shoe bottom. It was the stick adapter. There it is, angle plus or minus. Right click, edit, and enable use angle as resting position. Hit OK, and now it'll snap right back. Look at that right side. I can click and drag this, it'll bend, and it'll go right back. If I wanted to do it with this guy right here, go to stick bottom. There's that mate that we just did. I'm going to right click and edit and use offset as the resting position. Hit OK, and there we go. It'll spring right back. But again, personally, I don't want that because in real life, those wouldn't be spring loaded. So I just hit undo twice and oops, hit undo a couple more times. Come on, undo, undo. There we go, that's fixed. Then do a couple more times here. There we go, and this is fixed. Double check, make sure everything's good. And perfect. Right now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure everything's saved. I'm gonna hit the save button right here. And then you are going to submit this assembly into the Teams assignment.